So here we are kicking off White Shark Media episode 10. Imagine that it's already been 10 episodes. We are gonna be utilizing this episode to dive in to White Shark Media history. It's also a question that I'm asked quite frequently. Why are you here? Why Nicaragua? Why two Danish guys here working with the United States market from Nicaragua? How can that be? And it is a little bit crazy, and we like it that way. So today I think we're going to be answering that question. We're going to go actually physically to Granada just to get the vibe and the synergy into the episode of actually being where it all started in the cradle of life for White Shark Media, how White Shark Media was started almost 10 years ago. So welcome to White Shark Media, episode 10.
Good morning, everybody. Good to have you all here. Good to have a big huddle as well. I don't think I've seen this many people since the kickoff. I think it's usually product, but it's good to see other departments as well. It's going to be a very quick huddle. We've been covering a lot of this with the teams, with the mentors individually, but we have also been working on some numbers we want to share with you. We just had our monthly huddle, which just so happens also to open the quarter for us. We shared the initiatives for the month, the initiatives for the quarter. We revisited Q1, the opportunities that we have for improvement, and also the big wins. We had some huge wins in terms of revenue, so we're very happy about that. We shared some of the contests we have for this quarter, very fun contest, and we actually expanded the contest a lot, so there's going to be a lot more people participating. And most importantly, we recapped the goals for this quarter. We have ambitious goals, but we have a very good pipeline, a very good trend in motion, so we're pretty confident we're going to be able to hit them, and the motive for this quarter is to overachieve the goals we have. So we're very excited, and you'll be hearing more updates soon. So for more calls to that and onboarding processes like that, big kudos to you.
We're gonna go into a meeting in a second. Actually, we have Erica and Bruno waiting in this office right here, where we're gonna be talking about a project that we are working on here at White Shark, where we're gonna be doing a sort of a foundation. We haven't yet defined what we want to do specifically, what we want to support, whether it's going to be education, entrepreneurship, or it's going to be a mix. But at least that's what we're going to be talking about right in here in the conference room in a couple of minutes. Alright, so before we go to set up there, I'm just going to go and meet with Frank quickly to sync up on a potential partner onboarding. And I have Jamil as well. We have a client that was with us in one of the episodes where I visited our office in Miami. That is Safe Credit Solutions, so he's going to come next week. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be here next week. I'm going to be in Seattle at a Microsoft Summit. So I'm just going to sync up quickly. Let's do Jamil first because he's... What happened this week was there was a good huddle and you got some good kudos.
Right.
From me as well. You deserve it.
I was very grateful.
Well, if there's anything you need from me, or you basically have it covered?
No, we have it covered. I just wanted to get some feedback, just to see if there's something else besides what I shared with you.
Yeah.
That you talked about it, like perhaps something that you. So we're building a database of candidates you can interview.
Okay.
You can meet the team. We're probably gonna go to lunch, dinner. Then we're just gonna go some places around to see if we can rent somewhere nearby.
Okay. This is not a part of our services, right? All these things. So
Going the extra mile.
we're going the extra mile for Alex, a great client of ours, and he's coming down to Nicaragua. He wants to potentially hire some people here, and that's what we're talking about. And we love to go the extra mile. He's a great client. He's been good to us. And we want to be really good to him and facilitate his visit and give him a good experience and show him the country that we are proud of. I'm not a Nica, Jamil is Nica, but we're all proud of Nicaragua. We want to give him a good experience here. So. Hey, right? Good morning. Doing a client celebration over. First of all, great spend today. I just saw the report right now. Great spend. We have good spend. The spend is going up. If it was last week, I would have said no. But great Wednesday spend.
I think so.
I think it actually is.
Yeah, I haven't checked because I just saw it, but
Yeah, I think it's the highest ever on a Wednesday. I cannot mention the name right here because we of course have confidentiality. I can reveal that we are being asked by one of the biggest companies in the world in the advertising space to do a partnership with them. So that is pretty hefty and pretty interesting.
not bad.
It is not bad.
It's definitely not bad.
It is not bad. It wasn't always like this. We were not always solicited. We were not always solicited by the world's largest companies. Not always. You want a hug?
You want a hug?
Maybe.
Okay, we can do it. Yes, we can do it. Good Wednesday. Good Wednesday for us.
I feel like if ever there was a time to do a quick little hug on a Wednesday morning, I think it would be right.
We can do it a Wednesday thing.
To Granada with Alex and Sebastian. We're going to be filming episode 10 of White Shark Media Under the Surface, where it all started in Granada. Alex will be telling a little bit about her story, and we're going to be showing beautiful Granada. Okay, we are in the central park of Granada. We're going to have a ride on the city in horse, and we're going to show you the city, and here our guide Giovanni is going to talk about the history of Granada and all the important places that we're going to meet.
Okay guys, welcome to Granada, the colonial city. The first house that they are made one here. It's one of the 16 houses that survived when this town was burned in the 1856 by this fighter from the state that his name was William Walker.
This is my grandma's house. It was, as he said, one of the only ones who survived the burn by William Walker.
This house used to be original by 1600. We are back at the central park of Granada, that's known Columbus Park, in honor of the Christopher Columbus.
Graduation. The baby sharks are now ready to go into the floor. They've finished 2 months of training and they're going to go into the nesting period. They've been introducing clients from, senior people, from the people on the floor, and they're so ready. They're already certified on the most important products, and Jose has been really helpful in the training session. He's one of our seniors. He's really good at different verticals.
A couple of things that we've tried to share with them is about how to manage the daily tasks, and also just showing them how we optimize and be ready for them, support any info, any comments they have, or just help. They're to help them.
So it's been really great. I think it's one of the best classes we've had. They all come from different personalities. They're ready to tackle the campaigns and ready to talk with the clients and the partners. So it's been a really successful 2 months.
So here we are in beautiful Granada, having a pretty good time, I would say. We have Anna with us as well. Imagine that we have time to do this, right? It's quite incredible. So right now we are getting some vigorón, right?
Yes.
You can maybe explain what is vigorón, Anna?
Vigorón is like pork and yuca and salad. It's a traditional dish from Granada, and Alex is going to try grama. That is a traditional beverage from here as well.
And the strange thing is that besides, of course, you guys are maybe one of the more local Granadinians that we have in the company. Back to the question of basically how we got started, why Nicaragua, and it's a funny story actually. I have to say that it is a funny story. I'm Danish. Gary, that I founded White Shark Media, is also Danish, and it also happened that my brother actually had a company here in Nicaragua in 2000, and I think in 2004 he started it. So in 2008 I came to visit. I was a tourist in the country, and I totally fell in love with the place. I thought it was magical, and at that point in time I said, you know, at some point in my life I'm gonna be living in Nicaragua. I hadn't at that time lived abroad, so I said at one point in time I'm gonna be living in Nicaragua. I'm gonna do something, and we didn't really know what we were gonna do. Por favor, eso es la grama.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had expected another color. That's why.
It's like tea.
It's like an iced tea.
Do you think it was gonna be green?
Okay, let's try it. Yeah, I was expecting a green version. Yeah.
Super sweet.
Interesting. Interesting flavor, huh? Now we're getting the Vigron. I think we have to film it.
Do you want me to like interview you like?
No, it's okay. It's okay. I think. So it started with me and Gary. We were in the radio industry in Denmark. I cannot. It's very difficult to keep this serious. It doesn't have to be serious either. So we were in radio and had a great company in Denmark where we did commercial radio. We saw digital. It came like a steam train with 100 kilometers an hour running at us. And I remember in the beginning of the zeros, some of our very few of our clients talked about digital. If they did, it was more related to a banner or a digital ad in the newspaper. And then really throughout the end zeros, digital kept growing. AdWords came to the Danish market, and we decided to pivot. Basically, we decided to jump on the train, and that's what we did. We thought about setting it up in Denmark and founding our company in Denmark, focusing on the Danish market. But we said, you know what, screw it. If we have to pivot anyways, then we might as well go for the big league, and that is of course the American market. It's still the biggest market in the world when it comes to digital advertising. So that's what we did, and we looked all across the US. We thought about places to launch, and because of my Nicaraguan experience a couple of years previously, we actually connected those two projects. So we came to Nicaragua, and we said, you know, this is a great place for us to be. So we said this is the place for us, and that was basically the decision. We went back to Denmark, and we tried to in the beginning raise a little bit of funds. It wasn't possible for us. A lot of people, they said, Danish guys venturing into a market that you've never been in Nicaragua. You're going to be in Nicaragua in the United States. Doesn't make sense to us. So a lot of declines, a lot of investors that said, you know what, you have good guts, but we don't really believe in the project. But we did it anyways. So it all started right here in Granada. A lot of fun has come out of that. We had our first office. I think we're going to see that. It's right down one of these streets here. That was our first office actually, and it took us about 6 months to realize that we had to be in Managua, where we also are today. But White Shark Media, we were not named White Shark Media back then, but White Shark Media actually were, at one point in time, it was based out of Granada, Nicaragua, only actually. I think we're gonna go and see the place where it all started, so we're gonna take a little bit of a tour in town. It was a house, and the funny thing is that we lived together, because it was very rushed. I mean, I think when we had been here for the visit, I think it took us about 3 months after we came back to Denmark to really just exit ourselves out of the management in our company. When we lived here, we actually left 2 o'clock in the night for a year, half a year, and then later on in Managua we left 3, but 2 o'clock, and we went to our temporary office, and we pitched radio ads in the night. And then 6, 7 o'clock we started transitioning into White Shark Media and AdWords, and so that was how we funded, and also why we today are bootstrapped, right? We've never raised capital, and that's a good thing. We're in a good position now because of that. So we couldn't afford anything, of course, so we lived in the same house, and our first employee was named Marta. She was our assistant and later became our HR manager. We rented that car. It was as small as a car gets, I think. I don't think you can find a smaller car.
Yeah.
It almost didn't fit Gary, and in that car we drove every night to Managua. And
For how long?
for at least a half a year. This was where we had the first meetings, the first considerations, the original plans, yeah, the original architecture. Okay, but here we are again, cradle of life, where White Shark Media spawned from. It was happening right in here. So here we are. Unfortunately, we cannot go in, but at least we have the door open. So this is where it all started. The first office of White Shark Media. Important, I think, for the history episode of. So I don't know if we're going to do any other episode like this in the near future. So let's get the most out of it right now. So Anna, I think wants to show us the view, or
Yeah, we can go to the cathedral. You can go upstairs and see the whole city from there.
So let's do it.
Go.
A bit of a unique episode. We've talked about doing it for some while. We wanted to show how in our opinion, very unique, different agency started, and just the fact that we're here in Granada, I think, tells that story pretty well. We're not like everyone else. We're proud of having our foundation and main part of our team here in the country, here in Nicaragua. We're wrapping up. We're sitting at this beautiful hotel. It's been a good, fun day. Hopefully our viewers and you will think the same. We have had a great time seeing the city. We were on a carriage. We saw the church. And we talked a little bit about how everything started and how this was really the cradle of life of White Shark Media. And it's funny to think about that now we're sitting here, and 10 years ago we were a couple of people. Today we're more or less 100 strong, proud Nicaraguan people here in Nicaragua and in Managua. San Juan coming now as well. We are now conquering the PPC world, we believe to think, and we're striving, we're ambitious, we're becoming hopefully very soon one of the biggest in the world when it comes to managing PPC campaigns. We're already very well pacing to get there, and here we are. It all started 10 years ago with 2 people, and that's pretty good to remember sometimes. You know, stay grounded, stay humble. It all started with a couple of guys sitting in a Suzuki Alto, having nothing than dreams and hopes and commitment to make it happen.
Okay, so we are done with our visit to Granada. Alex has given us the tour of where it all started for White Shark Media. We visited the house where they lived, been around the city, and now we're at the top of the cathedral having this view. And see more details in White Shark Media Under the Surface episode 10.